The Angry Chicken is proudly sponsored by DogHouseSystems.com. If you use our code TAC, you will get double memory on your next Doghouse Systems gaming rig. We thank DogHouseSystems.com for their support of The Angry Chicken.
Well met.
A podcast about Hearthstone, Heroes of Warcraft.
It's time for a little roll.
This is the Angry Chicken.
I hope you like my invention.
Tastingo! I'm gonna eat that! Reporting for duty.
Greetings and welcome back, everyone, to The Angry Chicken, episode 13. I am Garrett Weinzerl, and with me, as always, is Willie Dills Gregory and Miss Jocelyn Moffat.
Yo.
Guys, gal,
Hello.
people complaining about that. Welcome back. It is a new year. We've been gone for a couple weeks.
Yeah, it seemed like a long time though.
It did. It really did.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what breaks you took on your other shows, Dills and Jocelyn, but you get into this routine. You're just like, all right, every week, like these are my show nights, and I gotta get this and that and done. I gotta rush for dinner, and then you get out of that for a couple weeks, and it's really relaxing, and you don't have people in chat rooms yelling at you and angry.
Hey, our chat room doesn't yell.
No,
Come on,
that's
you
true.
guys.
That's true.
They do table flip from time to time.
Yeah. But you know,
But that was well deserved.
That's true.
right, exactly. But yeah, I got totally out of whack. I got way too comfortable, and I was scrambling to get tonight's show up and running.
You got comfortable, but I was dealing with another thing that we're doing. So I was still definitely in Angry Chicken land throughout this entire break.
Yeah, I was whisked away by family for
Yeah,
Christmas.
that's
Me
pretty
too.
good.
Yeah,
Well, I'm jealous of you guys. I was whisked away for one day by family, actually,
Aw.
which was nice. Yeah, but see, my mom lives like close to me, so. But I did
was
play a
fun.
lot of
Like-
Hearthstone.
Oh,
That
I
was
didn't
amazing.
play any until yesterday.
God, you guys missed like 7 meta changes then.
I know. I started playing yesterday. I lost every single game, and my chat room was like, well, at least now we know what not to do. And I was like, yep, I've been out of it for 2 weeks. Thanks,
Yeah.
guys.
Yeah, by the way, so warriors are good again. Somehow hunters are somewhat okay now. Not really, but kind
It's
of.
because
No,
of the crazy
no.
Twitter campaign.
No, there's hunters
coming back.
at Legend, dude, that play this like crazy rush hunter deck. And then there's a lot of the weird secret deck stuff too.
still rocking the secret deck, and
Yeah.
it's doing pretty well.
By the way, I played Yang Wu on the ladder.
You.
On the
Yeah.
ladder,
That's
okay.
exciting.
I would say I
Yeah,
played
we
him before.
queued up, and then he tweeted at me, and he was like, "Well met," and
That's awesome.
I crushed him because he never got explosive trap, and I was playing an aggro lock. So
Aw,
sorry, buddy.
oof, that's rough. I beat Nagralock with that deck earlier.
Oh, you can. You just
with-
need your explosive trap.
Well,
Like,
I
that's-
didn't. I did it with like Mr. X.
Yeah.
He was killing his own minions.
Yeah, Misdirect is pretty powerful.
And some
actually.
arcane
It's also
shots.
really fun. It's like one of the funnest secrets.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, it's everything is switched around now. It's like don't play that control paladin deck that we talked about. Like that's not working anymore because everyone's switched up from that. Warrior's actually good because they've got mages are like kind of gone. They're still actually really good, but it's very weird. Everything shifts like day to day.
So I know. What rank are you up to now, Dills?
I'm currently at rank. I think I'm at rank 3 now again, but I
Nice.
got all the way up to like 4-star rank 1 or something crazy, like 3 stars rank 1.
I remember,
then
and you were like,
I
I'm
just-
doing it. I'm gonna make the push to legend, and you've just been on this roller coaster ride ever since.
Yeah, it was just I don't know. Here was like the mistake I made. I was way too drunk to continue, and I decided,
That's
I gotta
always the
go
mistake
for
you
it.
make.
yeah, I was like, I gotta go for it. But then, yeah, like just warlocks everywhere. Like as far as the eye could see, I'm sorry, murlocs, not even just
Oh.
warlocks, murlocs. And so yeah, I went back down to like rank 5 or something, and now I've gotten all the way back up to something middle star 3 or something like that.
Okay, all right.
It's a grind, man. It's a grind. Anybody who's gotten to legend, good job. it takes a lot of playing, and you just have to win, more than you lose for a really long time. And
You
yeah,
have to win, guys, and then you go up.
yeah, but you just
Thanks,
have to win at the really high ranks, like 5 to 2 legend. It's really difficult to win more than like 60% at all, if at all. So
Yeah.
anybody who can, good job, dude. Good job.
Yeah. Everything I've been hearing is like once a lot of people they make it to legend and just like, oh, I'm done. Just don't touch it. I'm just gonna, I'm pretty high up in the legend rank right now. I'm just gonna leave it and enjoy this for a few days.
Yeah, there's a lot of people who AFK at legend for sure.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we talked before we took our break about how I was just having this, bitch of a time getting out of rank 15.
Uh-huh.
And then I was just so busy during the damn holidays with, real life crap. So I didn't have a whole lot of time to play. And then like the Friday after Christmas, I was like, all right, I've got like 4 hours. Let's sit down. And I busted out the rogue deck, made a couple changes, and went straight up to rank 10.
Nice.
See, Rogue is definitely still really good. There's a couple of tweaks that probably would need to be made to any Rogue deck when you like. Here's what happens as you rank up: the meta shifts like every so often,
Right.
and not only that, just the meta of the whole game shifts. Right, so a deck that worked from 15 to 10 just suddenly stops working at like rank 6. Or even at like where I'm at now with like 3 and 2 or whatever, I'm kind of bouncing back and forth, where like it'll shift from game to game. Like all of a sudden it's nothing but aggro mages, and then all of a sudden it's nothing but aggro locks, and then it's control locks, and then druids, and so you kind of constantly have to be adjusting what you're doing, and it's not just like the next day. It's like an hour from now it's going to change. It's so weird, but it's kind of exciting. I like it.
Yeah, it is fun. When I got up to around like 12 and plus, it was just seeing druid after druid during that play. And I mean, this is 2 weeks ago now, almost. So,
yeah, druid's still there. They've shifted a little bit though. Everyone's playing Black Knight, so now no one's playing Ancient of War anymore. So yeah, it's weird. It constantly shifts.
Yeah, it's a balancing act.
Yeah, but I still think Tink Master is the card that's never going to leave my deck. God, I love that thing. So good.
I bet like 2 weeks from now you're gonna be like, that stupid card. Everyone can counter it. I'm taking it out.
Do you think?
Maybe.
Do you think it's like gonna get any type of like nerf or balance change? Because
I don't know. I would like to see it maybe get changed to, instead of being a 1 or a 5, maybe have it be a 2 or a 4. Like a 2/2 or a 4/4, because right now it's like it's a coin flip, and sometimes that coin flip just loses you the game or wins you the game, right? So I mean, if you coin flip on Sylvanas, you can't really lose, right? Because at the worst, it's a silence, and Sylvanas isn't a 5/5 with the death rattle anymore. Or Ragnaros, at the worst, it's a 5/5 that's not throwing out 8 damage fireballs anymore.
And Tyrion.
Yeah, and Tyrion, right? Yeah, exactly. But also, what ends up happening with it is that there's sometimes scenarios where it doesn't make sense to use because you're playing it like an aggro lock or something.
Right.
So then you like coin flip it on one of your dudes, like a novice engineer or something, and then you turn him into a 1/1 where you would have just won the game if you got in the 5/5, or you get the 5/5 and you just win the game. So it's a little weird, and I don't know if I like a card. I like what the card does. I don't know if I like how coin flippy it is, but I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, that type of... Well, I mean, you can have that in standard card games too, though. That type of randomization is the thing that kind of shines in online card games.
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
But I mean, I was just thinking that it's something I almost said this is something you can't have in traditional, but you can. It just says flip a coin if it lands blah. There are things like that in traditional, cardboard card games, but
they're all over. They're not even just that card. I mean, Arcane Missiles, does it hit the Blood Imp or does it not?
Yeah, and that's where it definitely shines, because while yes, that'd be possible to do in a traditional sense, it would be just not fun to accomplish.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
All right, so that's one.
This brings up an interesting point, because I was watching someone stream the other day, and they were saying that we shouldn't nerf anything because the players will figure out how to, combat it. Right? The players will find a way. Pyroblast is really good. Mages are dominating. So what does everyone do? They start running heals, right? They heal out of the pyro range. But I think that, I don't know about what you guys think, but I think that they should nerf things that are getting a little out of hand, because I don't think they should balance the game only around like the best players, right? Like the top
think that-
players.
Yeah, I think what they should do is more look at mechanics. Like, so for instance, the changes they just made to the Mage, where they changed the freeze mechanic. If they're saying that, like, this style of deck and this mechanic in the game is really ruining what we want to happen, I think that nerfing a mechanic is fine. I'm not really a big fan of nerfing all the cards, because I definitely agree with the idea that the players will find a way, you know, like if something starts to dominate, like, I mean, Dills, you were just saying, you know, it changes from, you know, rank 15, rank 10, it changes, you know, from hour to hour and week to week. So with a game that's changing that much, it's really difficult to make changes to the specific cards, but I think mechanics are a little bit more nerfable.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. I definitely agree with that. I think the freeze mechanic just was not enjoyable to play against, right? So it makes sense to make that a little harder to pull off, because then you see it less.
Yeah. But there's also, I mean, things are going to rise to the top, like Tinkmaster, or like we were, you know, before we took the break, before the big patch, we had, you know, those like 18 required cards.
Sure.
Some
Right.
of which got, you know, you got your Urgent Commander, which was nerfed. You got your Shattered Sun Cleric, which was nerfed.
But still, they're very good. I mean, they didn't nerf them to the ground. I mean,
Yeah.
they tweaked them, right?
Yeah. So I don't think I necessarily agree with that. And this is coming from someone who enjoys Magic, where it's impossible.
Yeah.
nerf
to nerf.
Cards get banned, right? I mean, like,
Yeah.
you can't play this in a tournament,
Right.
Because it's found to be completely OP. Like, what's that one card that you always talk about? The Jace, right? You can't
Jace.
play that in some tournaments, right?
No, I'm pretty sure he's available. In
I've heard there's some tournaments like
if there's,
he's
he's bad in Constructed. He's not that great. He's only good in Limited and Draft, and you can absolutely, in any draft or sealed tournament I play in, that's how I lost, because I went up against him. So,
But I mean, I don't have a big Magic background, so I don't know exactly the ins and outs. But there are cards that are just straight up banned, right? Like, you can't.
right.
If you go to a big professional tournament.
Yeah,
like,
I mean,
can't have that card.
the most common way they cycle it there is like the block from a year ago drops off. So if you're playing Standard Constructed, but
Yeah.
this is neither here or there. I think since this is a game where you can make changes, you should exercise that benefit.
Exactly. Well, I think Blizzard has a history of adjusting the games that they make, right? To
Yes.
Very
based on
true.
what's going on. So I don't think that it would.
They put StarCraft out, and they were just like, oh, no, have fun. You know, we're just gonna. It's done. It's out. Have
You
fun,
guys
guys.
figure it out.
We're gonna go make StarCraft 3. No,
But I
that's-
mean, every single patch in World of Warcraft, there's some small change somewhere.
Some tweak, yeah.
And I kind of feel like that's just how it's going to be with Hearthstone. And I think, honestly, the best players in the world, sure, they can adjust to a card that exists, right? But that also means they can adjust to a change too. Like,
Yeah.
they can adjust to a nerf, they can adjust to a buff. If they can adjust to the changing meta, they can adjust to changing cards.
Right.
And so I think that they shouldn't. I just feel like you don't want to balance a game only around the very top play, because if you do that, everyone else is just kind of left behind. You know what I mean? So it's like, oh, so you're not amazing at this game? Well, sorry, screw you. Mind Control still costs 8 mana, even though that frustrates the hell out of you. Whereas, like, the top players, nobody was playing Mind Control anyway, right? So it didn't even matter. Honestly didn't change anything at the top when they nerfed Mind Control. But it helped out a lot of people who were struggling against it, right?
yeah, lower leagues all of a sudden became more fun to play.
Yeah, exactly. So I think, you balance around. I do agree with one thing, though. You got to be careful just, like, allowing people to QQ and then all of a sudden, like, we change something because, all the players are, like...
What does QQ mean?
Oh, sorry.
That's
like,
not
"Oh,
even a
what?
Hearthstone
No,
You
term.
make two capital Qs next to each other. It looks like a guy crying.
Oh, okay.
Two
Wait,
eyes.
did we talk about this before?
It's an
don't know.
that's just straight up internet terminology. If someone's calling in complaining
Jill
about
knows all
that,
crazy like card terminology all the time, and I didn't know. Like, wait a minute, I've been out for 2 weeks. Did I miss
Oh,
something?
man.
Okay.
No,
I'm
no.
sorry,
The meta's
I'm-
You
shifted.
need
QQ,
context.
OP.
Context.
man, I'm calling you out on that. I'm sorry.
But no, I mean, if people cry about something and then they change it, that sets a precedent for people to just cry about anything they don't like, right? But some things are kind of crappy, like when you have total board control and then the mage pyros your face. And you died when you like carefully played this game out, and it's like, oh, you had one card that just did 10 damage. Okay.
Like the tournament I watched this afternoon.
Right. When you have two of them, like you're
Trump,
like, hey, screw you.
Trump versus, how do you say the other guy's name?
I think it's Nimsh.
Nimsh? Okay.
Nimsh.
Yeah, Nimsh's mage deck was ridiculous.
Yes, it was.
Yeah, if anyone missed that, that was the ESGN TV Fight Night Hearthstone episode 1. Too many things to say for this title.
They're gonna do one a day, actually.
Yeah,
I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, it was really well produced. I actually enjoyed it, but I don't enjoy watching mages win. So
yeah, I was a little frustrated because the mage just crushed every deck Trump put out. It was insane. I was like, poor Trump. He was getting the worst draws too.
Yeah,
it wasn't
he
like,
got awful draw. He had Ragnaros in one of his opening hands, didn't he?
I believe, yeah, maybe. Yeah, he had like basically just. I think when he did play mage, he had pyro in his opening hand. That's for sure. But
yeah. And I was so excited. I think it was game 3. He played a shaman deck. I was like, ooh,
yeah,
shaman, and he just he had an Argent Commander in his opening hand. I'm just like, God damn it.
I'll say this though. Trump actually put on more of a display of like skillful plays than Nimsh did. Nimsh just had a better deck,
and good draws. But
good draws, a better deck. But I mean, Nimsh is a very good player. I've watched his stream. He's like ranked like 10 or something.
Well, he was previously a player of the original Warcraft paper card game.
Yeah, and he's very good. Like what I mean by rank 10 is like legendary rank 10, like rank 10 overall of all the players in the EU, right? In the EU. So he's very good. But his deck was just kind of like, oh, this card fits, bing. Oh, this card fits, bing. Oh, Pyroblast, bing. Like it was just that's how some games go. Yeah. But I'm excited to watch all these. We should actually talk about something we're doing.
Should we?
We should at least let's hype it. Let's hint at it a little bit.
Are we allowed, Garrett?
What do you mean? Yes, I'm not. Everyone thinks I'm a dictator. No, yes. Say what you want. I don't care.
Garrett, don't beat me. I'm sorry that I told everybody.
Don't rage, Garrett. Yeah, we're putting together an invitational tournament. We're doing the Angry Chicken Invitational.
Yes.
We're inviting 4 players to play.
Well, it's happened.
Well, yeah, it technically has happened.
But it's
I know
it's
who won.
legitimately going on. Yeah, Jocelyn knows.
Jocelyn who's been running point and organized, she's been in charge of the players. They've been checking in with her, letting her know who won, so that Dills and I, who are going to be casting it, don't know the results. And we can go ahead and we can announce the 4 players, right?
Yeah, I don't see why not. So we invited 4 players. All 4 players we invited just said yes right away. Thanks to Doghouse Systems, of course, who helped us out as well.
Doghouse Systems donated a prize pool. We got a $200 prize pool, 100 of which is going to the winner, 50 to second place, and then 25 to the 2 runner-ups. And
we got AP Drop, Savages, Kistifer, and Koyuki. So all of these players are at Legend rank. They're all very good. And I think they've all at least won or done really well at a bunch of tournaments already. So
they are also all really very nice. Very nice.
Yeah,
people.
Exactly. Also very nice. I think most of them, they all stream actually, but not, they don't stream all the time, but they do stream. So if you want to check them out, go check they're pretty easy to find. We should actually even maybe link to them in the show notes or something.
Yeah, I don't have it here handy, but I'll look it up and get it in there. For when the post is actually up tomorrow.
And I also want to give a shout out to Warren, who actually went to SF State with me, was in my program, who's helping us out by doing some video editing. So we should have this thing within a few weeks, I'd say. I don't know. I mean, there's no timetable on it yet, but it's coming, you guys.
Yeah, because of the lack of the spectator mode, we keep running into little random hurdles of how to actually cast this damn thing.
It's complicated.
So it is happening. Expect it in the next week or so.
Exactly.
So yeah, we'll get it down. So we did best of 7, single elimination. They each brought 4 decks, and we did the whole deck elimination format. So
And I'll say this. I don't know what happened, but one of the players told me that one of the craziest turns he's ever seen happened in his game. So I'm really excited to cast these games. They're all sitting in a folder right now, and I could go watch them if I wanted to.
I was gonna say I know who won, so I could totally go watch.
You could just watch them, Jocelyn. Yeah, you might as
I've
well.
been
Just
so
go ahead.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll be streamed right here on twitch.tv/AmoveTV, and we'll let you know on this RSS feed and on the Twitter exactly when that will be broadcasted. And I'm sure the VODs will be up afterwards.
Absolutely.
So, awesome. Let's, now that that's out of the way, get excited, guys. Let's talk about some news.
Good news, everyone!
Guys, we were so excited about the ladder wipe and Season 2 coming in.
Oh my God, I was so ready.
And then it didn't come.
No, it did not.
Were you ready? Because you were pretty jacked about pushing for Legend. And
Well, I'll say this. When I got kind of demoralized by Murlocs, I was like, you know what? I'll wait for the next one. Like, I basically stopped doing... I think I stopped ranked for like a week because I just was like, screw that. To be so close and then just have it ripped away from you by Murlocs, you know? Just, like, just over and over again. Like, in my dreams, they were just in there. So
were you screaming at your monitor, apologize for playing this deck?
you know what I did? I logged into WoW and I just went on a Murloc rampage. Like, I just killed every Murloc I could find. But yeah, so anyway.
He's got so many Murloc eyes, guys, he doesn't know what to do with it.
I just went back to Arena. I was like, screw it, Arena. I know I'm good at this.
Aw.
Yeah, I know. It was that bad. But yeah, I went back to Arena for a while.
Arena's-
Although I've dipped my toes back in, and we'll see. I mean, now that I know that it's postponed.
Arena's
And we
that-
don't even
that-
know when it's coming, right?
No, they just said that there's bugs. So
they-
until further
to-
notice,
to
Yeah, they're
quote-
called Murlocs.
to
Get them
quote-
out of here.
To quote Zarya, pesky sprites are currently
Yes.
preventing them.
so yeah, we're stuck for further notice. We're just going to be Season 1 forever. So
Yeah, I guess Dills is going to have to keep going back to that X that it really isn't that healthy for him called Arena.
Yeah.
But
Well, I'll say this. Arena is still, to me, some of the most exciting games you can get in Hearthstone, but I have really come around to respecting Constructed a lot, just because of how carefully planned out everything can be, you know?
I love the deck creation of Arena. Like, every time you start a new arena, you get to go in fresh and you get to look at 3 cards for 30 different instances and make informed decisions.
Those choices are
or
incredibly fun.
totally random ones.
Jocelyn closes her eyes and
I
flicks
do.
her mouse around, clicking violently.
Just flip a coin and then flip a coin again.
Probably not a winning strategy, but it sounds really fun. I think I'll
I've
try
done
that.
okay. I've gotten up to like 5 wins on a deck that I just went, okay.
Coming,
Yes, dude,
coming
that's
soon to
awesome.
A-Move TV, Hearthstone Arena Roulette with Jocelyn.
Okay,
Oh my god, that'd be so much fun.
let's do this. Let's make this a reality.
Oh my God. We need to just
I
start
will
doing
try this. I will definitely try this.
You know, we should just quit our jobs, do the Angry Chicken daily, and every day can be a different theme.
Just
And
every
one,
day.
one of them will be Arena Roulette.
I'm in.
There we go.
I'm in.
Now just to find the
Yeah,
money.
so this whole thing about delaying Season 1, they also, you know what it's done? It's kind of put everything into limbo right now. Like, a lot of players ranked up really fast trying to get to Legend before January 2nd, because that was the date posted. And now I feel like these players don't know what to do. It's almost like the 3-star master thing is back. Like, they're just kind of chilling in Legend now, you know? And there's no rewards for this season. So
right.
what are they
did
doing?
say there's no rewards, I don't think, until we're out of beta, right?
That's right. Up
That
next,
was-
when I was going to talk about all the different blue
Oh.
tweets. Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Oh.
Someone
I should probably read show notes.
it would help, wouldn't it? Yeah, no, someone asked, they tweeted, is there any reward for the next test season, or will there be no rewards until test seasons end? And Zarya tweeted at them saying, no rewards until we're done with testing seasons.
Okay.
So while it's beta, no rewards.
Our
What do you
reward
guys think
is
they're
testing.
testing? Yeah, what do you think that they're testing right now? Do you think they're just testing, like, if this system works at all?
Oh, probably.
This seems to work.
Probably, and I'm sure the MMR, which is something we don't get to see,
True.
is a big component about this. Completely pulling this out of my ass, by the way. I don't work there. I'm not a balance designer. I don't know, but I just know.
Considering how much they changed the ladder, even just like from the first round of beta to this round that we're in now with that big, huge patch, I mean, like they could completely change it again with the next one. You never know.
Yeah.
Like if this doesn't work, then they need us to test, which is why we're beta testers. So
I think it works, though. I mean,
I think it does too.
Well, since it's
I
so
think it should be
1-to-1,
kinda
if you
grindy
win,
when you get to the top.
Yeah, and I'm not even sure. I was reading something about the MMR about how like it doesn't really come into account until you're legend because it's 1-to-1. If you win, you get a star. If you lose a star.
Yeah.
So it's not.
Well, there is some hidden stuff going on, but like when you get up to legend, if you win you'll go up like 5 ranks, and then you lose and go down like 20. So it's tough.
Well, at the same time too, I mean, like I might be a 17, like 2-star 17 rank, whatever. And if somebody else is a 2-star 17, I could have a higher MMR if I've been on just a big, huge win streak and I've won every game to get there. And then if they've gone up and down or whatever, then obviously our MMR ratings are going to be different, right? So we may or may not actually see each other even though we're at the same rank. So I think it still plays a part, but maybe it's a bigger part when you get up to legend rank. But
Yeah, and like I said, I mean, StarCraft, for example, just had a big ladder overhaul. So, and we're 3 years into that game now. So it's obviously this kind of stuff, even though we don't see it because a lot of it is behind the scenes. It's not something that's obvious. You can't click on your profile and see your MMR ranking. But it's got to be. I'm sure it's a big portion of what they're working on.
Sure.
So, other than that, I don't know. Maybe they're just. I'd be interested. I want to see the panel they did at BlizzCon, where we got to see like the day-to-day changes of what classes were on top and what classes were on the bottom. I wish we got one of those a week from them, because I'm curious if maybe that's part of it. Like,
well, there is some stuff happening, but it's not. There's another site that's compiling stuff, and basically what they told everybody was kind of what we already knew. Mages are the best. Well, actually, no, rogues turned out to be the best, which is kind of interesting. But mages, I think, were second, and then I mean, it's kind of what you already know if you're just kind of paying attention to what's happening. If you're like playing consistently day in and day out, then you just kind of see this stuff happening. Like, oh my god, I can't win against this class. This class is just really good. Oh, this class is easy win every time I see it. Like, there's that kind of stuff is shifting, so you have a feeling of what it is. But I'll try to find this site if I can, because it's actually really informative.
yeah, apparently Undead Goat in the chat room posted a link. Ben Brode posted that MMR doesn't actually exist until you hit legend ranked, apparently. So
that's what I must have read. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, there you go.
He says, quote, ranked mode doesn't use MMR until you hit legend rank, but yes, your legend MMR is different from your casual MMR, which was something that quite a few people were asking. They were wondering if if you go and experiment in casual, if you're screwing up your MMR for ranked, and
so
no.
Forget everything I said.
When you guys play at the ranks that you're at, how often do you see the same guy over and over again?
Never.
Never?
The last time I played for a decent amount to actually keep track of this kind of thing, it was the day I went from like 16 to 10. So I was leveling up real quick, so I wouldn't expect to see the same person.
Yeah, I think that's what happens is that you move so much, you shift so much when you're at like 25 to like say 15 or so, that you just don't. But like last night, I played the same dude. By the way, he's a dude who used to hang out in my chat in Twitch and just backseat game the crap out of me. And just could not stand this guy. I'm so glad he doesn't watch my stream anymore. Sorry to be salty, but seriously, like every move I make, be like, that was wrong. Shouldn't have done that.
How dare you be honest with us, Dills? How
Shouldn't have
dare
done
you?
that.
It's like, okay, man, thank you very much. Which I don't mind people like wondering about moves. I really don't. I like the discussion that spawns of like, well, what about this?
If all you're doing is saying after something bad happens, oh, you shouldn't have done that.
Yeah, no, it's
like,
yeah,
thanks.
It's the way you say it, I guess.
When
but
I got
anyway,
hit by
played
a
that guy like
car,
3 times in a row. And then I played this other guy like 4 times in a row, and it was like, are we the only 3 people playing right now? Like, but what's tough is when you play the same guy so many times, it's kind of like it just like we split the games, all the games, you know, because now I know what's in his deck, he knows what's in my deck. It just depends on who gets the better draw, basically, you know. So
Yeah.
it's rough going up there. I wish the winning streaks actually still counted, but I understand why they don't after rank 5, because then it would probably seem a little too easy to get the legend. You can just get on one good streak and then bang, you're in.
Also, Dills, and this is not meant to sound like I'm judging you at all.
Oh, you can judge me all you want.
I'm not. I'm seriously not. You tend to play at ungodly hours in the morning.
True that.
Like hours that don't exist to me.
Yeah, that also just has to do with having a job. So my only real the time I can is not the time I would like. I would much rather play all day. You know, I'd much rather get up at like 9 a.m., have a cup of coffee, and then play until 6. But instead, I have to go to this job thing.
Yeah.
It's so funny. I get these emails usually about the time I'm waking up that it's like, Dills has just gone live. And I'm like, what? I'm going to work.
Yep. Yeah. Well, New Year's Eve was really fun. You guys missed out. We had a nice little stream on New Year's Eve. It was great. Hung out with all my friends.
One of these weekends, I'm actually going to catch you when you're streaming.
I've
been there a couple of times, but I'm always in and out.
I watched Ryan Seacrest and drank with my girlfriend. It was wonderful.
Yeah, that's not nearly as much fun as what we did.
Nope.
Yeah, this is why I'm big in Australia, is because, you know, that's when I stream.
You're huge in Japan.
Middle of Australia Day. Yeah.
We got Aussies in the chat room. They're just like, yes, we have something to watch. Yeah, but that's got to be a factor because you're North American. You're on the North American server. You're playing at what equates to be like 5 a.m. for me because of the time difference.
But that's only like the bar just closed. So,
for a second, I thought you meant that was a factor in that Dills was so high in the rankings. Like, Dills plays and no one else is there. Of course he's good.
I play the drunk people.
No.
Yeah. But I'm drunk too, so it evens out.
All right.
Right. Yeah. So, yeah, there's that. Anyways, getting into some more of the blue tweets that I was talking about, because there were quite a few while we were gone that were interesting. One person tweeted at Zariah saying that some people are not opening card packs until new cards become available. Are cards in packs decided when we get it or when we open it? And Zariah said that card packs purchased now contain cards available in this set. They won't contain new cards if opened later.
Yeah, so don't hoard your packs,
your
you guys.
card packs.
Just open them up, man. It's fine.
Yeah.
Who was it I saw doing
You can always
this?
hoard your dust.
There was a streamer that had like 35 unopened packs or whatever.
Did you inform him that this isn't Magic Online and you can't buy into drafts that way?
I did not inform him of anything, but I just noticed it and I was like, that's an interesting idea. I wonder if it works that way. But this leads me to the question, does that mean that at the moment you acquire the pack is now like it's decided upon what's in there? Do you guys wonder about that? Or does it
brings me
it decides?
This brings me into a whole other line of thinking, which is since we're getting the PvE adventures that are going to bring in 20 or 30 some odd cards, a small amount. Mm-hmm. Are those do everyone just get those 30 some odd cards? They become like standard cards that everyone has by beating the adventure, or can you get them in packs? Because
I think you're going to have to beat the adventure. I think that's what it
and
seems.
Then you just get them, yeah. Because if they say we had an expansion and we had an influx of like 300 new cards,
yeah.
If they didn't do what every other card game does and have just a separate pack just from that expansion, I'm going to lose my mind because I do not want to be spending more money and getting the same goddamn cards that I've had since the game came out.
Yeah, that's definitely true. Like if they put out new cards and then they're like, this pack could contain any of the 600 cards that exist. You know, just like, really? I could get a raid leader? Really?
Yeah. The longer the game goes on, it's exponentially worse odds of getting what you actually want.
Getting the new
getting
cards.
some
And that's
good.
just eventually it'd be absurd and it'd be a terrible business model, I think.
Think about how much dust you're going to get, though.
Well, and actually the chat room just said, because that was what I said, was to hoard your dust, you know, but
if you're
one
going to
of
hoard
the,
something, that makes
Sorry
a lot
Like
more sense.
Atari in the chat room said, do you think that they're going to introduce different dust for different expansions like WoW?
They
So yeah, like
absolutely
different
could.
tokens,
Different currencies
raid
and-
levels.
yeah.
That'd be interesting. I hope not.
I
'cause
hope
that would
not
just
too.
complicate it. That would just make things really complicated. Like, oh,
It seems like a
need an imp
fairly
mask,
simple
so-
game. I don't know if they would do that, but
I
it would be
I have
interesting.
one card missing from the old set. Like, I got to go buy old packs. Like that's
Yeah, then they would have to separate old packs from new packs, and interesting.
Right.
Don't do it.
I would, if they're going to do a big influx of cards, I just hope we have a separate booster that we can buy.
that makes sense. I think that does make sense. Like, okay, do I want to buy a new expansion pack or an old expansion pack? You know, so if I'm missing old stuff, I can still get it if I need it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
It's a fun part about Magic. You can do like personal tournaments with older sets that are not considered standard anymore. So, anyways, moving on. Person tweeted at Ben Broad and said, "Will adventures be in the beta or something being saved for release?" And Ben said that they are for post-release, so don't expect to see them during the beta. And then on that subject, someone also asked if Adventures, which is the player versus environment, the PvE content, is it going to be paid content or part of the core game? And Ben said, not sure. All I know is that it's going to be rad.
With a smiley face.
With a smiley face. And I'm like, oh, Ben, that's so nice and casual, and I know it's going to set Dills off.
Yeah. This is I'm
say no.
I don't know. I think that we're gonna see a lot of paid content, I think.
I'll say this though.
Expansion
so
packs
far-
and adventures.
So far, the way paid content works, because Arena is paid content, right? You can pay $1.99 or you can pay 150 gold.
Yeah.
So if what he means is it's going to cost you like 150 gold to start an
To
adventure,
go on an adventure?
that's fine, because that makes sense. I got to earn cards. I have to buy into it, right? That makes sense. So in that situation, I'm okay with it. But if the only way is money, then I'm going to hurt somebody.
There will be many a table flipped.
Tables will be flipped.
Dills will have to set up more tables in his room so he doesn't flip
Yes.
his computer desk.
I'm just going to continue to pick the table up so I can flip it again. It's going to be insane.
I would assume, and I get the feeling that paid content is always going to be that slash of cash or in-game currency.
Exactly.
And they haven't given me any indication, any reason to think otherwise.
Yeah.
So that's just what I'm assuming at this point.
I get it. You're trying to earn something. You got to buy your way into that thing. It's like Arena. It's like, okay, I buy in, I get my pack and whatever. And then maybe I got 12 wins the other day. I got 415 gold.
Wow.
Like, I was just like, dude, next 3 arenas are free. You know, it's like, it's so that's fine. I'm okay with that. Just please don't ever start to go down a path of this only costs money. That's going to be really bad. I think it's dangerous for the viability of this game as a freemium style game. So.
Yep. Yeah.
But I think they understand that.
I like how Dota's just like, here's the full damn game. Have fun.
Yeah. Do you want to have a cool shirt? Then pay $1.99.
Yep, it's good stuff. So, all right, we have links to all those tweets, the official post on season 2 being delayed, even though there's not a whole lot of info in there. All in the show notes over at amove.tv/TAC. So go check that out. It's time to talk some strategy.
Hit it very hard.
Wanna blow something up? Time to pay!
What is the song that plays during that damn bumper, Dills?
Don't tell
I'm not
him.
going to
Don't
tell
him.
you. You got to find out for yourself.
Sounds
dude.
like it's from Back to the Future.
It's
Just like throw it up on YouTube, and then YouTube will tell you what to take it down for.
That's true.
Oh,
That's true. You
we
could do
have
that.
11 episodes up and we
They
haven't
haven't told us anything yet.
we haven't been taken down yet.
It falls into the less than 15 seconds category. So it's
Hell
cool.
yeah. Kiss it,
all-
YouTube.
Come at me, YouTube. Come on, bring it.
Bring it.
Anyways,
I'll never tell. You'll have
Yeah.
to find out.
To the
You
sub-
know what you gotta do? You just gotta get that. What's that app? Shazam or
well,
whatever.
there's like
right?
30 of them. I think that all did the same thing at this
Yeah.
point. But
Just hold Shazam up during the show, and yeah,
that's
and then you
funny.
can find out. I know it's from the '80s. I'll tell you that. That's your first clue.
Do you
I'll
not
give
even know
do
what
an
the
episode.
song is?
The Casio
No, I know what
keyboard
the song is. I made
gave
the
it
damn
away.
thing.
So anyway,
Here's
to
a
the
hint. It has something to do with the word strategy. There you go.
Yeah.
Second hint. I just gave you 2 hints.
Yeah.
anyways, to the subject of today's strategy discussion. We're getting a lot of emails, a lot of tweets about class legendaries, people sitting on a lot of dust. What do they want to get? So we're going to talk about class-specific legendaries today.
These are, if we wanted to cover every legendary, it would take forever. So I think this is a good place to start.
It's a little bite-sized chunk.
Yeah.
Gives us-
Now, not all of these are even useful at all in the current meta.
First up, Alakir the Windlord. Dust that sucker.
Oh my god.
Throw him right in the shredder.
I have him, and I'm keeping him because I'm hoping that someday this card gets changed and is actually good.
Okay, so this card is 8 mana, 3 attack, 5 health. I don't have him. So to me, I look at this and I go, oh my god, Wind Fury, Charge, Divine Shield, Taunt. Why would I not want this card? It
He
has
is like-
all the things.
He has like everything but stealth, pretty much.
Yeah,
so
it does. It has all
why
the
do I
things.
not want to play this card?
Well,
He's a
because
3/5
it's
for
a
8.
3/5.
But yeah, he does 6 damage with Wind Fury, but that's who gives
Yeah.
a crap?
8 mana for 6 damage is not very much.
But then there's
It's
Divine
terrible.
Shield, there's Taunt. That makes up your other 2 mana.
The
no?
Divine-
Here's
Shield-
what happens. You play him, you kill 1 minion, then you kill a second minion and you die for 8 mana. Right? That's what happens. Whereas you could play a Flame Strike and kill like 6 minions and nobody dies on your side of the board for 7 mana. So that's the problem there.
He basically just boils down to like any other card for that mana would probably be better to play at that point in the game.
Yeah. Here's the thing, though. I think he could be fixed pretty easily. I think if you made him a 4/5, that would make a lot of sense because now you bring him in line with a Pyroblast, basically, right? So he's like a Shaman Pyro. And you'd see him all the time if he was a 4/5. The other thing you could
He's
do...
still
make
2
him-
damage shy of a Pyroblast.
Oh, you're right. Sorry. Well, but it's close.
But it's closer, yeah.
But then the other thing you could do is make him like cost 6 with like 1 overload or something. Whereas then he'd be good because you could play him on the same turn as something else. Right?
Yeah, he's a shaman card. He doesn't have overload. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
It's because there's no more room on the card.
Out of things to give him.
oh, there's plenty of room. Come on, they could shift
Give him
that
a
up.
death rattle. Like
Or-
death
yeah.
rattle something. I don't know.
Death
what,
Rattle
but
doesn't suck anymore.
comes back as something awesome. Yeah. I don't know.
A random
Something-
awesome invention.
What if he turned into a random totem upon death? I don't know. Something. Like it just
Something.
for 8 mana, the only thing you can really do, and I've heard of people talking about this, is you can play him and then put 2 Rockbiter weapons on him. So then for 10 mana, you've got a 9/5 with Wind Fury,
So is
right?
it-
So you
yeah,
do 18 damage,
Yeah.
which is great. But
Incredibly specific.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I know of warrior OTKs that are all 30 of your health in one turn that take no legendary cards to do.
Yeah.
And so what's so legendary about this guy? I don't get
Yeah.
it. I just, yeah.
With
He needs to
all
be
of
changed.
with all of the flavor of commanding the elements and wind, and air being one of those things, I'm surprised there's not a subset of cards within the shamans that return cards to your opponent's hand. Because
Yeah.
it seems something like this guy should do. Like he enters the field and just blows everything back.
Yeah.
He's a freaking
Yeah.
tornado
Really
elemental
cool.
for crying out loud. I feel like that should be, if I'm just talking from a flavor aspect, I feel like that should be a subgenre of cards within the shaman.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like he's definitely missing. The only shaman flavor he has is the Wind Fury, right? Other than that, he just seems kind of like a weak creature.
Yeah.
And the legendaries are not like this is the weakest one out of all of them.
Yeah.
So
Out of all of the class specific,
The
or
class
out of all?
ones, yeah.
Okay, yeah. Because I was like, I don't
maybe out of all of the legendaries, it could be. Honestly, like he gives so little value.
At least that
it's for
Peggle
8
sometimes
mana.
gives you a card, man. Like,
Yeah. Well, see, like Lore Walker Cho, the other guy can't cast spells anymore. That would be like the other legendary I would think is kind of weak, right? But this guy, oh man. I would love to find a way to use him, but it's just not happening right now.
yeah.
So.
Well, let's
know.
shift
We'll have a new
gears.
mission.
Okay, you're on it. Do you have this card, Jocelyn?
No.
Well, then you're not on a new mission.
Mission part
I
1.
could make
Get
him.
caught. Yeah, don't do that. Oh God, don't do that.
Yeah.
All the things I could do to just drive you guys nuts. I love it.
Let's shift gears and talk about a class legendary we do like.
Okay.
Tyrion Fordring.
This is a good one. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is a very good one.
So for those listening that don't know what he is, he costs 8 mana, 6 attack, 6 health. He has Divine Shield and Taunt, and he has a Death Rattle where you get to equip a 5 attack, 3 durability weapon, Ashbringer.
Which
Yes.
is pretty crazy.
Yeah, and if you're
Yeah.
a Warcraft lord nut like I am, I'm just like, Ashbringer, yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's a cool death rattle. It's awesome. Like it's a pretty insane weapon. A 5 damage. It's like Arcanite Reaper bonus. You know, you get 3 swings with an Arcanite Reaper. So yeah, he's amazing, and he's probably the only class legendary that you see in like every single Paladin deck. He's just always there. You know he's coming at some point. Tyrion's going to hit the board, and that's why cards like Tickmaster are so damn viable.
Yeah, we
so-
were talking about earlier. He is such a prime target for Tankmaster because even if he procs the 5/5 dinosaur, that is so much better than a 6. That you want to get rid of that death rattle is really what you want. Like a 6/6 with Divine Shield and Taunt, it sucks, but you can deal with it. But when you put 15 damage on the board by killing him,
Yeah.
it just becomes horrifying.
Yeah. Now, someone in the chat says that it always gets silenced when you play him. Well, at the meta that this is about a week ago, no one was running silence. Currently, people are playing the Black Knight like a ton. Okay, that's a lie. Druids run silence because they run the Keepers of the Grove, right? Which it's a 2/4 that can either silence or do 2 damage when it comes out. But that's pretty much like the only silence you really see.
I've been seeing owls in Warlock decks.
Well, that is a very specific Warlock deck that runs Ancient Watchers. So what the Owl is for is to combo with the Ancient Watcher and get a 4/5 for 2 mana that can attack. So that's only like one kind of Warlock. So you're really only going to see silence in...
But all I keep seeing him do is just silence Madame Sylvanas. I haven't seen him actually pull off the Ancient Watcher combo.
Yeah.
I feel
We'll
like
see-
I've started to see more and more legendaries. I feel like as people play more and open more packs, there's more legendaries that are coming into play, and some of these cards are just absolutely killer. So I'm starting to see, at least at the level that I've been playing at, more and more decks just running silence just for the sake of silence, to be like, if somebody throws a legendary at me, I don't have anything else, so I'm just going to run a card with silence so I can throw it out there and get rid of that right away.
It's not a bad thing. I mean, I think a Spellbreaker is a great card. It's a 4/3, 4 mana, silences something. Generally gets value, but
It's a real good pick in Arena.
yeah, it is, absolutely. But I think what you see, though, in a lot of decks right now is you see, like, there's only 30 slots,
Right.
So they're trying to just put the most mana-efficient creatures. These decks with a lot of answers for things were kind of fashionable for a little while, but now we're starting to see people just be like, nope, here's my thing. This is what I'm going to do. If you do something crazy, whatever. Like, this is what my deck does. My deck is awesome. It's aggro. It's whatever. Like, everything is just so, like, slick and slender, and, like, there's no room for anything. There's no room for, like, I'll chuck a Spellbreaker in there. So, like, that's why you don't see it very much. Because it's just, I need 2 of all of these cards, and then I need my 4 legendaries, or whatever, that are amazing. So but I mean, of course, like, that's one part of the meta. There's definitely room for that in other places too. So, but when I played Tyrion in my Paladin deck, he got me an Ashbringer all the time. I mean, even if he gets Black Knighted, Deathbringer or Ashbringer. So yeah.
What does the Black Knight do again?
Oh, so Black Knight is a 4/5, so it's a Yeti, but it costs 6 mana, and so basically a Yeti is a 4/5 for 4 mana. Mm-hmm. Black Knight is a 4/5 for 6 mana, and you take 2 mana to kill anything with taunt. So as it hits the board, it kills anything with taunt.
Yeah,
so,
he's a legendary. He's not a class-specific legendary.
No. Yeah, but he's
So
an
you're seeing-
amazing card.
Yeah,
and he's all over right now.
Yeah, I feel like he came in with the rise of the Druid decks. These big, scary trees with taunt. People were like, oh shit, I need a Black Knight.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what happened. And now those Druids aren't running that anymore because everyone has a Black Knight. So
Yeah.
once everyone stops running the Black Knight, then those will come back, I'm sure. But yeah. So the only real way to deal with Tyrion without Tinkmaster is, yes, you can silence him, but he's still a 6/6, which is still fine, still pretty good. You could Black Knight him, but then he still gets the Ashbringer. You could Black Knight him, then ooze, but that is very specific.
Best
cards that you
way to
have have
deal with him is Polymorph or Hex
Polymorph or Hex is
or Tankmaster. Yeah. So anything that just silence isn't terrible though. I mean, at that point in the game, chances are you have something that can deal with a 6/6. But
and I'll say this though too: if the other guy has Sylvanas on the board, don't play Tyrion, you guys. I've seen people do this. Like, I had Sylvanas on the board, and the dude played Tyrion, and then he played the 1/1, and he's like, all right, well, maybe when Sylvanas, runs into my Tyrion, he'll take the 1/1. And then I was like, what? Wrath, the 1/1, boom, now I got Tyrion. Like, it's not a good play. Like, don't do it.
yeah, let me put literally the lowest health minion that is the easiest to deal with. If they have any answer at all, this thing is going away.
He's like, dude, Tyrion has taunt. He can't kill my 1/1. It's all good, man.
Except for all the ways you can kill the 1/1.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, oh, no, I got spells, man. I got spells.
Like everyone else.
Bad spells.
They exist. They are a thing. Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah. But okay, the other thing, though, if let's say someone uses all these answers on him, they used up an answer on him. Like, one of their answers is gone. He's a good card, man. He's a good card.
Yep.
Yeah.
He's just oozing value.
He is.
So
Absolutely.
Going to a more mid-rangey one, we got the Prophet Vellum, which is the priest legendary.
This one's weird.
Yeah, he's funky. I mean, he's well costed. He's 7/7 for 7.
Yeah, you can't argue with that. That's pretty good.
Yeah, and then his he doubles the damage of your healing spells and hero power. So, or double the damage of healing.
Damage of healing and
Basically,
and
anything
healing.
that heals or does damage that you do does twice as much.
Yeah. So all of a sudden, your hero power is healing you for 4, or if you're in shadow form,
it's doing 4
damage for 4,
Yeah.
or 5
Or if you're in double shadow form, it's
which
doing
I've
6.
never seen happen. I feel like it's the white whale. I'll never actually.
I tried,
catch it.
dude. I really tried. I was losing so much, and then I made a deck called F the Meta. It was a priest deck. It had 2 shadow forms in it.
And nothing but card draw, so you
It
can
was
pull
amazing.
the 2
Yeah. It was so good. I don't know why it didn't win. It was
Well,
weird.
if only Priest had tracking, so you could dig and find those 2 shadow forms.
Yeah. I don't know why it didn't win. It just never won games. It was
Oh,
weird.
that'd be so good.
I tried, man. I tried to buck the meta so hard.
Yeah.
Just
I haven't. I've quit the Priest for a while now, but I always wanted Prophet Vellum. He seems like a fun card. I don't have any
does.
personal experience with him though.
I don't have him either. If I did have him, I would definitely play him. Right before the actual card wipe, the only card wipe that we had, I basically dusted everything that I had, and I crafted every priest card because at that time priests were just terrible, right? And I was like, I want to make a priest deck that works. Watch, I'll get Prophet Velen. I'll get I got all this stuff, and I'll say this: Prophet Velen Mind Blast, 2 mana, 10 damage to the face. It's not bad, dude. But it's not easy to get to.
No,
and you
it's
could
not.
have a Mind Blast just stuck in your hand. You're just like, damn it. Like, I have 2 cards and one of them is a Mind Blast.
Yeah.
So I don't think he fits right now. He's a fun card though.
Yeah.
He's definitely fun.
Yeah, it definitely has a potential. Moving on to the Rogue with Mr. Edwin Van Cleef. the 2/2 for 3 mana, and he gets +2/+2 for every card played earlier that turn as a combo.
Yeah. And he
Hate
costs
those
only
stupid
3.
combos.
Yeah, he's only 3 mana, and it could be a 4/4, it could be a 6/6, and exponentially onwards and upwards. A great combo in with a coin. It seems like everything on Rogue is just better with a coin.
Yeah. Going second as a rogue is like just infinitely better. But so Edwin Van Cleef is actually one of the other class legendaries that you do see, because even if you play one card, you get a 4/4 for 3 mana. So he's still pretty well costed. You know, it's like it's efficient just from playing one card.
Yeah.
So like on turn 3, let's say you have a 3/2 on the board or something like that, and I backstab that, and then I just play a 4/4 for 3 mana. I mean, that's not bad, you know. So
Yeah, I recently took him out of my Rogue deck.
yeah,
Just because I was constantly getting into situations where he was in my hand and he just wasn't helping at all.
yeah,
Where it would have been far more effective to drop a. Oh my god, I'm blanking. Who's the 3/3 that does 2 target damage?
Oh, the SI7
Yeah,
agent.
the SI7 agent. It'd be much to like doing something, and then that 2 direct damage was more beneficial at the time than a buffed
Yeah, it's
Van
true.
Cleef. Plus Van Cleef is a silent sponge. Like,
It's all yeah. He
if
gets
your
silence and
opponent
he
has
goes back down
sponge,
to a 2/2.
yeah, if
so,
your opponent has silence, he's getting silenced.
yeah, yeah. Especially if you spend a whole turn just trying to make a beefy Van Cleef, and then you get like some 10/10 or something, and then bang, got silenced. You're like, well, I just played a bunch of cards I didn't have to.
Yeah,
Like I basically just emptied my hand trying to get this Van Cleef to be so big, and
Yeah.
that's
yeah. He's
So-
he's definitely not bad, but like if you're newer, or it's definitely a trap you can fall into, where because of this effect, this combo that is benefited by playing as many cards before him as possible, you can get into this mind trap of playing cards you don't need to play.
yeah. The nerf that they made to him was actually really big, because what he used to do was he would get +1/1, but he would
Stealth. He was stealth.
come out stealth.
Yeah.
So basically, you always got that attack with him, and that was pretty big. So I kind of wish it would go back to the old version. I don't think that was like completely overpowered. You know?
I'd be interested to see how that would play out now.
Yeah.
Clearly, before the first big patch, rogues were.
Well, that's the thing. They nerfed so many things about Rogue all at once. Like Rogues just got kind of crushed at first, and they're still really good. It's just people didn't think that they were still.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that I still think though Edwin Van Cleef fits into a lot of Rogue decks right now because of the fact you have all these low cost cards. So, but I think weren't you playing a Rogue deck that had like a questing adventure in it, Garrett?
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is kind of like a reverse questing, right? Like instead of getting one every time you play something, he gets it before. Like you have to play him last, not first. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Right.
But then he loses all growth potential once you actually.
Yeah. The questing
Yeah.
adventure, as long as it's alive, it always has
Keeps going.
this potential.
I love that card.
It's a good card.
It's,
Man.
yeah, It's a really good card. I had a guy tweet
And
at
he has
me.
the best sayings too.
Yeah.
The best emotes.
Yeah,
I
give me a
haven't been
quest.
playing. I haven't been playing my shaman deck lately, but because I threw that post up on A Move, I still had people commenting on my shaman deck. And over the Christmas break, someone goes like, "Why do you have the Unbound Elemental? Why don't you just play a Questing Adventurer, because you don't need to use an Overload card to get the benefit?" And I'm like, I never thought of that. That's actually not a bad idea.
Yeah. Right.
Although I do like the 2/4 body on an Unbound Elemental. That 4 health just makes it so much harder to deal with.
Exactly. It's fine on its own, really. you know?
And since
Yeah.
most shaman decks are pretty overload heavy,
Yeah.
it's not a
Yeah.
bad idea.
I do got to use that. Give me a quest in something in one of our bumpers somewhere.
Give me a quest.
Yeah. It's so good.
You just
Quest failed.
I know. I love that
So
one.
sad.
Best ever.
No, I'm sorry, buddy. I tried to keep you alive.
That's how I feel when I
I
fail a
hate
quest.
when he does
in-
that
in
though. When you've buffed him up huge and he's done a whole bunch of damage, and then he finally dies. He's like, "Quest failed." I'm like, "No, you did so well."
Yeah, it was so good. You
It's
did so much
okay.
damage.
pat him on the back. It's all right, you purple weirdo.
He's so emo. So,
He just goes on, puts on some My Chemical Romance when he gets back. All right, moving on to the Hunter with King Crush, the 9 mana Tyrannosaurus Rex with 8 attack,
That's
8
awesome.
health, and charge. This is a legendary I want so bad.
I just got him, you guys.
Oh,
I
did
just
you?
got him.
What? Oh, I wish
Yeah.
we could trade cards because you'll never use him, and you could give him to me, and then I
I
could make
might
my
use
hunter
him.
work.
I might use him. I don't know. Yeah,
Liar.
I had a weird string. I pulled like 4 legendaries in the last like 10 packs I've opened. It's crazy.
Wow.
Some of them have been repeats though. I got Gromish Hellscream again.
Aw.
He's the one I've
Yeah.
gotten 2 of. I've gotten 2 of him, and I've gotten 2 of Baron Geddon.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Okay. I like Baron Geddon actually. I'm coming around on
I've
Baron
yet
Geddon.
to find a reason to use him.
I have to go,
Control
like-
Druid.
Okay, I don't play Druid, so there you go.
I have to go play a whole bunch of arena so I can get packs to open. I'm starting to get like an itch. Like I'm like, oh, I just want new cards.
Right?
I always
I
do my daily, so I'm always
still-
rolling in gold. So every now and then I'm just like, I'm just gonna buy a pack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually did that the other day for the first time. I bought like 10 packs because I needed Brawl to try out the Warrior OTK new hotness that everyone's playing.
You needed who? What?
I needed Brawl.
Oh,
I didn't
Brawl.
have the Brawl card.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So I was like, and I only had like, I don't know, 50 dust or something. So I had like 5,000 gold. I was like, all right, I could just continue. I don't think I'm running out of gold. Like I'm not running out of it from playing arena. So I was like, okay, I'll just go. I just bought 10. I just spent 1,000 gold, bought 10 packs, and opened up King Crush and Gromish Hellscream. So
Oh man, I want to
I had plenty of dust after that. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm really digging the Hunter right now, so I would not mind one of these guys. I'm using a
Well, wait,
Ragnaros in
what?
place
What?
of him.
You're really digging the hunter right now?
Yeah, because
Yeah.
they're not a broken piece of crap. That's a coin flip.
Now it's a crazy hard decision-making deck. So yeah.
Oh, interesting.
And I get to mess with my opponent's play on their turn, which is fun.
Maybe you'll have to show me how to build a good hunter deck.
I talked about it for like the whole episode on New Year's
Yeah,
You-
but I don't actually
or
listen.
Christmas.
Jocelyn, you should try this deck out. It's actually really fun.
It is
I think
really
you'd
fun,
like it.
and the basic concept of it is actually really cheap.
That's true. You don't really need.
You don't need King
like,
Crush. I mean, granted, I'm using Ragnaros, which is another legendary, but
Yeah. But you're not using like Snake Trap, which is the epic traps, right? You're using like pretty much the basic ones.
Oh, I have those.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you have almost all these cards, Jocelyn. I think you're
so.
ready to rock. So you guys should discuss after the show.
Mm-hmm.
It's the Yang Wu deck, basically. Yang Wu deserves all credit.
yeah, which is currently the highest ranked Hunter deck on Hearthhead, as I believe it should be.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Oh, so you haven't really made any big changes to that?
Nope, I've been kind of just reading up on his
Well,
notes.
fine then. I don't need your help.
He hasn't updated it in a while. Fine.
I thought you
fine.
were going to impart knowledge.
I wasn't going to help you anyway because you're giving so much crap about playing Hunter. So there you go. Sit in your tower.
I am
Well,
very,
both you guys do
very
that.
glad that
I'm
you've
gonna
come
make a
around to
King
the hunter.
Crush hunter.
Yeah. I'm enjoying it. It's good times.
That's
Actually, when I opened King Crush, I was like, all right, I got to make a hunter deck now. Like I just,
good.
like
It's
I
a
kind of
sign.
have to. I just want to play. I just want to. When he hits the board, it's so awesome because he's just like, it's like, "Rah!" Like this guy just
Well,
comes in.
He basically, I mean, he sounds like this. That's what he
But
sounds
then
like.
at the end, it's like a big like, poof, like he thuds down onto the ground. So,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
Do you have that one too?
No. I'm on Hearthhead. I have play, attack, and death. I don't have lands.
But so he's an 8/8 for 9 mana that charges. So basically, he's a good finisher.
He's a finisher.
He's like your hunter pyro kind of.
Yeah, that's
For
why I'm.
what-
That's why I think Rag is a decent substitute.
Sure.
Granted, the nice thing about him, about King Crush, is you don't need to worry about there being other things on the board that are going to possibly absorb that 8 damage. You can
Yeah.
choose where he goes.
But here's the problem with King Crush. Now, I do think he's great. My problem is that for 4 mana, I could do 6 damage with Leroy Jenkins, right? Whereas King Crush, I need 9 mana. So that's a lot of mana. Like that's my whole turn, you know. And when I could do Leroy Jenkins Consecrate and then that's 8 mana. And I
Because you
just
can
did-
consecrate as a hunter.
Well, no, I'm saying like in any deck, Leroy is just always better. Like there's things you can do with Leroy. You can do Leroy plus Power Overwhelming in a Warlock. You know, Leroy plus Soulfire in a Warlock. Leroy plus Fireball in a Mage. Like there's just you could
So many
combo things.
combinations.
And with King Crush, I can't even do my hero ability if I play him. So I couldn't even for 10 mana get the same amount that a Mage can do with one 8 mana card. You know what I mean? So I feel like he should get buffed.
Okay. I wouldn't
He should
disagree
only
with that.
cost 8.
He should only cost... Okay.
Yeah. I don't know. I just think like
Got to be nice to the hunters.
once you start looking at, you know, Leroy, it's crazy. It's a fireball for 4 mana. You know, it's he just suddenly seems way overcosted. So, I mean, I get though that he's still an 8/8 body afterwards, but nobody really uses him before they're going to win the game, right?
It gives you the option, though, if you're in some kind of bad, scenario where you're out of deadly shots and you need to get rid of something.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. He does have options. You can
You're
use
not
him.
you're not benefiting your opponent in any way by playing him,
Yeah.
which
But-
is with Leroy you are.
Let's envision a scenario, right? Like other guy plays Ragnaros for 8, and then your only way to get rid of Ragnaros is King Crush. So it's like for 9, I had to use him to get rid of that. Like, or the other guy plays a 0 mana cost Molten Giant, right? Because he's at like 10 health, and then taunts him up, and you're like, crap, I can't get past that even with King Crush. Like, there's just, to me, it's just like he's a little lackluster. I would like to see him somehow find more value. I don't know exactly how. I don't have all the answers, but there's just a lot of scenarios where it's like he's
If,
not as good as the other thing you
If
could do.
Beast Synergy comes back
Yeah,
into like the high end meta, you're definitely going to see a big resurgence of King Crush.
yeah.
Thing is
But
that
again, though, like what do you combo it with? You can't. Like you couldn't play a Buzzard and then King Crush. Like the Buzzard would have to have lived already, and then King Crush. You couldn't play a King Crush and then buff him with something else. Like
well, you have your wolves that get +1 to other beasts.
Yeah.
yeah, so you can get 9 damage out of him. Yeah, okay.
So that's what I'm saying.
Gills is convinced.
if new cards get added that add to the beast synergy,
Yeah.
he's going to get a lot better.
Yeah,
The thing is that the current meta, you're not playing your 1 mana beast that buff. He just doesn't fit into the current high end meta.
yeah. No, it's true. One quick note about King Crush before we move on. I saw one game where Crip's opponent played King Crush, hit him, got him down to 1, and then Crip played Faceless Manipulator, and then King Crush has charge, so you get to immediately attack with him. So if you can mind control or Faceless Manip King Crush, do it. He immediately can attack. So anything with charge can do this. by the way.
And don't forget to do that because
Yeah, don't
We've
do
all
it
done
and then
it.
be like, okay, pass. Like,
Yeah.
so he attacks. He's got charge.
yeah, we've all done it, and it's not a good feeling.
Yeah.
The second you hit that end game or that end turn, you're just like, oh wait, no.
You know what I used to always do is play my animal companion and then immediately click end turn and then be like, no, the charger.
I
Like,
still do that.
Yeah.
Because like I'll play like 5 games with my hunter, and I'll just won't see him for any of those 5 games, and like of course game 6 comes around, I'm just like end turn. Oh shit, crap.
yeah. You got to be careful. You
Yep.
got to be careful.
So let's move on to the mage and talk a little Archmage Antonitis.
You require my assistance?
I love this, by the way. 7 mana, 5 attack, 7 health, and whenever you cast a spell, put a fireball spell into your hand.
I had a mage kick my ass with this yesterday.
Really?
Yes. Although I'm playing way below where you guys are, especially
No,
with my
I-
2-week hiatus.
I think he's a great card. I can never get him to work. I
man.
tried so hard, but basically I
just-
throw him down and
The way mages
Guys.
currently work, he seems to slow down the mage.
it's true. He doesn't quite fit in the aggro mage, but when you at first glance you look at this card, every time you cast a spell, you already explained this, right?
Yeah.
Every time you cast a spell, you get a fireball. So basically, if he lives 1 turn, you are chaining fireballs. You can cast 2 fireballs, and then you have 2 more for the next turn, which means you're basically just like burning the face of the other guy. Very easily. Problem is that he costs 7 mana, and then you have to cast 1 spell the turn you play him, or else you
Which I think in this case it was the mirror image.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and then so there's 2 taunts, and I was just like, I hate you and your stupid mage stupidness. It's so frustrating. And I'm like, I'm on the stream, and I'm just like, okay, don't lose your shit. Don't lose your shit. It'll be up again. Oh, no. Trying
See, if you had King Crush, he would have just copied King Crush anyway. So, like, it's good that you don't have King Crush. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, bad news.
So, Garrett, do you have this card?
I do not.
Okay.
I do not, or I would actually. Wait. I think I may have just recently gotten him.
Oh yeah.
I got a legendary the other night.
So many legendaries you can't keep track.
No. I opened one pack the other night. I don't even remember what it was. I remember it was like, oh, I got a legendary, but it was one for a hero I don't play. So I honestly don't remember. I think I may have just gotten him, and I think I was actually disappointed.
Well, let me know if you can get him to work. The only thing I can think of, right, is you play him and then you play like counter spell in the same turn, and then
you get the spell bonus and you protect him.
Yeah, like they try to kill him with a spell, and then it's like, nope, never mind, and you already also got a fireball.
Yeah, mirror image. That's not a bad combo if they have minions already on the board, because then you protect them from the minions.
Yeah, it's actually and Undead Goat is right. It's mirror entity. We keep calling mirror image. Mirror image is the 2 0/2s with taunt.
Yes.
Well, that's what Jocelyn was talking about.
Yeah, so
that's
it's the 1 mana card. So it was like, it was turn.
Oh, that's what he played. Oh, yeah. Okay.
So that gives them. That's the spell.
We're saying the right thing.
Fireball.
Saying the right thing. We know what we're talking about. You weren't there.
Yeah.
You weren't there.
I don't know. I'm an idiot. It's cool. I'm
You
the
just
idiot who
got
tried
so
to
many
make
cards in
Mage
your
and
head,
Snyder's
Bills.
Yeah. But yeah, he doesn't work. So if someone can get him to work, let me know. I'm sure he's worked plenty of times, but it's just really difficult in the current situation.
And you have to come up against people like me who are just like, damn it, don't know what to do, don't have any answers.
If you could play him into like a empty board with a guy who has like 1 card in his hand or something, like that's probably going to work, But it just seems like that's never what ends up happening.
And again, I mean, almost everything Dills is saying is he's talking about the current meta at the high level. We're talking rank 5 to legend. So there's a very good chance, Jocelyn, that you and other players in lower ranks, that where you're not adhering to the meta, where all of your decks are named F the meta, that this absolutely works. This is a good
Meta who?
This is a good card in those kinds of games, and games that go longer, and games that just don't adhere to the meta in any way, shape, or form. It's an absolutely a good card.
I do find a lot of my games go really long. I
actually crafted this card. I mean, I thought this card was amazing. It's only after lots of play and lots of attempts that I just decided that it doesn't work. So, but for 7 mana, a 5/7 is not terrible. I mean, it's a card that will draw out, like, your opponent immediately has to answer. So it still counts like it's almost a bomb, right? Not quite though. It doesn't immediately. It's not like Ragnaros where it's like, boom, deal with that, bitch. It's like.
Which, by the way, is what Ragnaros should say when he enters the battlefield.
Exactly. That would be amazing. But he's tough, But he does draw out removal, and he makes your opponent like scramble to deal with him. So.
Yeah. And moving on to the Warlock, Lord Jaraxxus.
You face Jaraxxus, Eredar Lord of the Burning Legion.
Will you please play his death for us as well?
Oh, at the end. We'll do it at the end when we're done with talking about Jaraxxus.
Right.
He's a 9-man. He has 3 attack.
We're going to hear it soon anyway, Gary. Right.
And that's a very good point. And he has 15 health. That's because he destroys your hero and replaces him with Lord Jaraxxus. So you bring yourself to 15 health, and you get a hero power of summoning 6/6 Infernals and making Garrett cuss the paint off the walls.
Yep.
Yeah. He's amazing.
I hate playing against warlocks
I
that have
hate this card
Jiraxis.
so much. The first time I saw it played, I was like, "Whoa, wait, what the hell is going on? Wait, what? 6/6? What the hell kind of hero? Wait, no!"
You're like 2 mana. What?
And
Yeah.
I was like, I was so pissed off because I had the dude down to like 2 health, and I was just like, "Oh, I got this in the wait, what?"
Yeah. You're
So
like, I got
angry.
this in the bag. Wait, I faced
Yeah.
Jiraxis. No.
I signed up for the
I-
warlock.
I put him in my control warlock deck, and it is so good, man. Oh my god, because that my control warlock deck is more about like just controlling the board, right? Like I'm not trying to rush you down at all. So all I'm doing the whole game is I'm clearing your minions and I'm leaving some there. And when you get to turn 9, and you can life tap just any turn, life tap. Why not? When I get to turn 9, I'm back to 15 health. It's so. If you can play him with stuff on the board, it's like you just win the game because every turn after that, like they're still trying to deal with your board, and then every turn after that, it's like, oh, I can play the cards in my hand plus a 6/6 plus attack with this weapon. Like so, it's pretty insane. But he doesn't save you if you're completely losing. That's what a lot of people I don't think understand. They think like, oh, I can play Jiraxis and I'll win the game. But if you have nothing on the board and you play Jiraxis, like you don't have mana to use that hero ability that turn, so you don't get the 6/6 until next turn. But he's amazing.
He's really good. There's something to be said for a legendary that can't just be removed.
So,
Yeah.
Dills, do you run the Sense Demons card in your deck too, so that you can always pull them up and have them in your hand, or
No,
do you just rely totally on luck?
I rely on the fact that I'm going to life tap like almost every turn. So I'm just drawing so many cards anyway. It's highly likely I'll get him. It's almost, and if I don't get him, it's fine. The deck is just really good anyway. I mean, there's a lot of good cards in it. This is actually the beauty of the Warlock is that you don't have to play cards that are kind of weak but draw a card. Because you pay that penalty, right, to draw the card. So instead of paying that penalty, you just life tap and you draw a card whenever you need to, and play really strong cards. So your cards are just better. So that's why Warlock is so strong right now. Their cards are just better. Their cards are just really good. Their minions are better. They cost less. Yes, they damage you. Yes, they have penalties, but penalties are worth it. So.
The card draw is a hero power. I think they're my favorite hero power, hands down.
Yeah,
Life
it's
tap
amazing.
so good. So, well, let's talk about a hero that isn't my favorite at all, the warrior, and let's talk about Mr. Gramash Hellscream.
I can wait no longer.
He's 8 mana, 4 attack, 9 health with charge and enrage plus 6 attack. So I've gotten this guy twice. Got 40 packs. I got him, and I got him again as a gold.
Yeah.
So the gold was immediately turned into my Ragnaros.
There you go. That's the beauty of the gold legendary. If you get it, I mean, there's going to be a point where I'm going to want the gold legendary. But for right now, the gold legendary just means I get the legendary I want. Right?
Yep. And his animation is actually totally badass. He's all like,
It's
flaming
really
and
cool.
shit.
It's really cool.
It's great. I like
This-
Grum.
This is a good card.
Yeah. I want to talk about a good finisher. You combo this with some, what is it, Inner Rage?
Yeah.
Oof.
Inner Rage or a Cruel Taskmaster because he only costs 8. So you can actually play something else.
Yeah.
And yeah, he basically swing for 12, right? So this is what I was saying. Like King Crush. I mean, yes, it takes 2 cards, but King Crush doesn't get to swing for 12. This guy does. It's pretty sick. And you can also use him to just remove something, and then suddenly you have this like super beefy dude on the board. So it's pretty good.
You got 2
I
Inner
like-
Rages, man. That's like 14 damage.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. If you could bust out double, I mean, you could do 2 Inner Rages and a Cruel Taskmaster.
Yep.
And you swing for 16. So 1 card. It's pretty good. Well,
It's-
4 cards.
Yeah. It's a good,
That would be 4 cards.
he's a damn good finisher.
Yeah, he really is. But you're actually not seeing him in a lot of Warrior decks right now either, just because of the fact that the Warrior decks that are actually viable at this point, like you saw him in Artosis's BlizzCon deck, right?
Right. We, as a matter of fact, we even got to see the Inner combo pulled off to end a game.
Yeah. So, and I think there's still a lot of people where that's like the only tournament they saw or familiar with, so like that meta is still holding on. Like I still see some of those decks because those are the decks that people have seen, which
Right.
makes sense. But currently, he's not the win condition in most warrior decks. Currently, the win condition is get yourself down under 10 health, and then all of a sudden you play Warsong Commander, double Molten Giant, attack, panda back a Molten Giant, attack with the panda, and then attack with the other Molten Giant again. And it's pretty sick.
For a one-turn kill.
Yep. Yep. And like the whole time, the other guy's just like sitting there thinking, "Oh man, I got this warrior, dude. He's so dead." And you're going, "Nope, I wanted you to get me down." Under
Yeah,
10
it
health.
has-
That was
it
part
has-
of my plan.
It has created the weirdest meta I have come across in this game so far, which is I don't think I want to attack my opponent this turn.
Yeah, it's true. It's really weird. You don't know, and then you can't load the board up because as soon as you do, they brawl, and then all your creatures die except for one. So it's a tricky deck to play against. I've played it a bunch now, and I do really like it, but it's also very tricky to play. There's a lot of strange choices to be made. Like, should I armor up or not? Like, do I need to take damage instead? Like, if you see a warrior not armor up, probably trying to take damage.
Yeah,
That means his combo is in his hand.
Let's see, I want to die, but I want to die at the perfect rate.
Yeah, it's so bizarre, but it's fun. And I mean, I was reading the Reddit post about it, and the guy was like, "Yeah, sometimes you actually want to inner rage the other guy's minion, then attack it with a weapon, so you take more damage." And you're like, "Are you serious right now? That's a strategy?
Jeez.
Take more damage? It's crazy."
Weird world we live in. So let's move on to the final one, the Druid card, Mr. Cenarius,
Who dares defile this ancient land?
who is really high on himself, apparently.
Oh my god, he loves himself.
Yeah, he does. And it's freaking half deer. He's a hippie. He's a big
He's
hippie
a
with moose horns.
demigod, dude. Back up.
Oh, he's a hippie. I don't want to hear it. I don't care if Night Elves are actually my favorite race in Warcraft. He's a hippie.
He does love his trees.
Yeah,
Those
he
druids.
does. He's a big tree hugger. Look at those. Look at those tree arms. He hugged them
So
so,
this
long he's
guy
becoming a
is
tree.
making a sick comeback right now.
Yeah.
He is in a lot of Warlock or Druid decks because Strife Crow, who's like number one in NA, like consistently, put him in his deck, his Druid deck. So of course, in the modern net decking world, everybody's playing him and realizing why he's in that deck, because when he hits the board, it changes the game. He's got the two options. He can either play 2/2/2s with taunt, so it's like Hogger on crack, or he can buff all of your creatures all at one time by 2/2, right? So it's like a mini bloodlust too.
And it's a permanent one.
Yeah,
not just
a
for this
permanent
turn.
bloodlust. Yeah, and a 5/8 on top of it.
Yeah,
So,
and he costs 9 mana, which, normally I'd look at a 5/8 for 9 and be like, but that effect is his effect is awesome.
yeah, but it's a 9/12 for 9, right? Because no matter what, you're at least getting the 2/2, 2/2/2s, right? At least, at worst case scenario.
Yeah.
So, he changes there's a lot of situations where I've actually been trying this deck out too, where you get into the late game and you're like, man, if I just draw Cenarius, like that's game over. And then, oh, there he is. Like I win.
I lost a game to him the other night.
Yeah.
That's exactly how it happened.
He's a real character. He's a good one.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorite parts about playing a Druid deck is that there are all of these like choose one cards. It makes it so interesting, and you have to think so much more when you're playing as a Druid because you have all of these options. It's like if you build your deck using all of these choose cards, then you're going to end up with it feels like 45 cards instead of 30 because you just have so many options all the time.
Yeah. It's a thinking man's deck, that druid deck, because you're always, and they're the only ones that get to do this. Mm-hmm. Sorry, you guys. Someone is ringing my doorbell like crazy. I will be right back. You guys continue on.
All right.
That's good. We're done with strategy. We don't need him anymore.
Yeah, it is. We'll just we'll go right into crazy game stories for this week. How's that sound, Jocelyn?
That sounds perfect.
Has the whole world gone crazy?
You're in trouble now.
You got it!
Oh, Dill's Mr. Axis' death. That makes me
poor
sad.
Dill.
Aw. Well, I didn't really have any crazy game stories from this week, and also our shows have been running damn long. So, in the interest of trying to cut down time, I think we'll try something different. We'll try picking like a crazy game story of the week from the listeners, because you guys are sending in so many crazy game stories. I had to create a folder, and I'm just dumping them in there because I don't have the time to read through them all, and I'm just gonna go in there and I'm gonna cherry pick every time we need a story. So, our
I
crazy,
think it's perfect.
yeah, our crazy game. This story comes to us from listener Taz, who says that I am trying to grind up when I can. I'm currently rank 11, and I am playing a mage deck I saw on Vive's stream. It's a pretty simple mage rush, and with the pyroblast for finish and ice block for stall. So every mage ever is what I'm
Yeah.
doing right now.
So yeah, Mage.
Okay. First of all, Taz, apologize. And secondly, continue. He says, I go first, and from my initial 3 cards, I keep Frostbolt and Cobalt Geomancer. He said, shipping back 1 card and getting a Fireball in return. Turn 1, I get an Archer and decide to just pass the turn. His turn 1, he coins out Millhouse. We were just talking about class-specific legendaries. Millhouse Manastorm is not a class-specific legendary. He's a 2 mana. He has 4 attack, 4 health, but his battle cry is that your enemy spells cost 0 the next turn. Why in God's name you would ever even consider dropping this against a mage
Against a mage,
is
yeah.
beyond
yeah.
me.
If you are, though, that's the only time you could ever do it. Is
Right at the
two.
very beginning,
But-
yeah.
Or turn 1. You
Yeah.
can only do that. Coin Millhouse is actually, I think, the only time he even works at all. Like, I just...
But
Because most people will ship all their spells, right? Like if you have Pyro in your opening hand, you're like, nope, I need something else right now, right? So
Right.
unless you mulliganed into it, sometimes it works beautifully. Sometimes.
and other
yes.
times you end
This
up
happens.
you end up on the angry chicken as the guy that made a really bad mistake. So Taz goes on to say, I was thinking, okay, that's not so great for him. Then I drew a Pyroblast.
God.
Before I started my turn, I at least had the decency to say sorry. Then
Is that decency or is that?
I think
don't
that's
know.
bragging.
I don't know.
he
Yeah.
says, then my turn 2, emphasis on turn 2, was Cobalt Geomancer for the +1 spell damage, Frostbolt his Millhouse, Fireball him for 7, Pyroblast him for 11. Your turn.
Yeah.
Hunter too.
Smiley
I would be
face
so
The guy's
sad.
down
Just
to
be like,
12 damage.
table flip, I'm done. I'm out.
Yeah.
No more Hearthstone.
But you know what? He has to know that this is what could happen.
A
Like,
risk, yeah.
when you play Millhouse, you understand that you're like Millhouse shouldn't say what he says. He should say the Wild Pyromancer, like because you're playing with fire, dude. Like the worst possible things
Playing
can
with like
happen.
nitroglycerin.
Yeah, somebody could have 2 pyros and 2 fireballs by that point. It could happen. It definitely could happen.
Yeah, it's no.
It's a death.
The kicker. I love that he also got to kill the Millhouse. Just like,
Oh yeah,
like that's just
Yeah.
like, all right, free kill, and here's a crap ton of damage to your face. Enjoy.
But
Jeez,
okay,
that's-
let me just say something real quick.
Mhm.
All the mages out there running Pyroblast, and I'm guilty of it too because I like to win games. Pyro is definitely in my mage decks, but please do not say well played and then pyro me in the face. It was not well played. Nobody had fun. You got me down to 20 with a bunch of crap, and then you pyroed me on turn 8. Like nobody played that well. There was no like secret to what just happened. It was 1 card that did 10 damage, 1/3 of my health. There you go. It's not well played. Anyway, just saying. And don't say sorry either. Just don't say anything. Pyro me
Yeah,
and let's move on. Okay.
Yeah.
That's what happened to me when I played that last Steel tournament and the dude had Jace. This is Magic I'm talking about, and I told him, like, you better sit there and just not say anything.
Yeah, like, you and me, we're done. We're gonna sit here, we're gonna play these cards, and then we're done. Yeah, just pyro me in the face, and let's never talk about it, okay?
Yep. Just get it over.
You know it's coming. You don't slow roll it either. Oh my god, it's the worst. Like they just sit there and they're like, well played.
What should I hit?
So on our
pyro, and you're like, God damn it.
On our Christmas episode, people were asking for our battle tags, and we told them to tweet us, and we'll add them. Are you saying right now that if people kill you with a mage, you're just gonna unfriend them? Is that what you're
I
putting
won't
out?
unfriend them.
Is that what you're putting out into the universe right now, Dills?
I'm just talking about the latter. Like you're not being a cool dude by saying sorry and then pyro me, or well played and then pyro me in the face. It's a used up move. Everyone's doing it. You're not original. Just shut up and pyro me. That's all. We know it's coming.
Yep.
We all know it's coming. It's not like some sweet thing you just came up with. Like, oh man, you know what card no one's using that I found? It's called Pyroblast. It does 10 damage, 8 mana. I'm the only one who knows about it. No, everyone knows about it. You're not original.
I want everyone who thinks that I'm a rage case to remember this and all the other times.
I'm
Dills
not
has
raging.
gone off.
I'm just telling it like it is.
The chat room is saying Bitter Dills is the best Dills. So we've got Ragey Garrett and Bitter Dills. This is amazing.
There you go. Yeah. And then Jocelyn, who's just like, it's all good. Let's have fun. That actually leads right into an email because I did read this part. So that's actually to have gotten all salty.
Yeah, let's
All salty.
let's take some emails and finish out today's show.
Hello.
Hello, it's me.
Hello.
Just quickly, did you get my message?
Yep.
Oh.
Hello, brother.
Emails, you can send them. We'll read them. The email is tacpodcast@gmail.com. And our email today, or first one anyway, comes to us from listener 3Blood. And he wrote a longer email. You can read the full thing over in the show notes. But basically, he said he was having a real rough time when he started playing Hearthstone, and that he expected to, but didn't see really any self-improvement in the first 2 months of play. So then he goes on to write. So I decided to take a break and just leave the game for a while until I heard Garrett suggest that you just have fun with the game and that everyone should have a fun deck that they like to play around with. Maybe even name it F the Meta. I don't know. I'm just throwing that out there.
Just throw it
Or
out
your milkshake, or
yeah.
I love making a fun
Or
deck.
Boys to the Yard, so it'll be a reference that Jocelyn understands.
Hey!
Even though she's openly stated that she's not into music, I find it so odd that you know that, but not other things we reference. Anyway.
See, Tariq B said that that's as ragey as she gets, or they get, Canadians. When she just went, hey, that was Jocelyn raging. Yeah, she just raged.
Not to be confused with A, which is a different,
A little different.
They are vastly different.
Also, watch Jocelyn's stream. I've seen Jocelyn throw down.
I get a little
with the
ragey
rage.
sometimes.
Do you get ragey? Oh my god! All right, odds are up, right?
Some of them are. I have them all locally recorded. I just haven't uploaded. I've been lazy, but most of them are saved.
You know what? I'm not even going to watch any TV tonight. I'm going to just watch VODs and wait for the salt.
Yeah, but if you think I'm ragey, you haven't even seen it.
Yeah.
Anyways, back to 3Blood's email. He said, so that's exactly what I did. He built a fun deck. He said, I built a themed pirate deck with the Paladin. I call it the Theramore Privateers, and I am having a blast. Nice. It is a Paladin deck with all of the pirates, parrots included, and I only play it in casual. It has really made a difference in my playing habits. Now when I am getting nowhere in arena or ranked play, instead of getting frustrated with my lack of deck building skills, I hop onto the casual play and have a relaxing fun time just playing the game. Basically just said, thanks for the advice. Other people should try this.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I agree wholeheartedly. Just make something really weird and off the wall that has makes no sense. All the cards, throw Hungry Crabs in there.
All my constructed decks.
To have Hungry Crabs, Angry Chickens, all of that.
I do this, and I'm not sure if I want to put this out there because I don't know if I want to read this many deck lists. But I challenge our listeners to make a deck, and the only requirement for this deck is that it's named Dills Will Hate This. And then just put in cards and think that Dills will hate. And then just play with that and let us know how it goes. Maybe we'll get on
about this,
Tweet us
actually.
with the hashtag Dills will hate this.
I probably won't even hate it. I'll probably quite enjoy it.
Maybe
And,
we'll it's going to have some raid leaders and Nat Pagel.
Yeah. Well, actually, I love
Nat
Nat Pagel. I love Nat Pagel. He's a great card. I want him right now. I'm actually considering him being the next one I create.
I actually saw him
He's
come
fixed.
out. I actually saw him come out this past week.
Yeah, no,
think
he's big time now. Savages and I think it was mostly just Savages. Savages is like the one who loved him, and everyone's starting to play him now.
Yeah.
Because he works now. He's not broken anymore. He actually draws cards. He actually catches fish.
Someone call Brian Ibbett.
Yeah.
Right
Pat
now.
Nagel is back.
And he'll go, oh crap, I disenchanted him because you guys told me to.
Yeah. Well, he was broken. He's fixed now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good stuff. Good stuff. So thanks for that email through, Blood. Jocelyn, you want to take the next one?
Absolutely. Raisha Bluebeard says, or Brewbeard. Oh, damn it. I knew I was going to mess that up.
Close enough.
Says, huzzah, I found this post where someone mocked up a Diablo Hearthstone game. Would you guys rather see a new Hearthstone game based on individual Blizzard properties like this, i.e. WoW, Diablo, or would you like to see an overall Blizzard melting pot of characters in a single Hearthstone game? So you'd have like Tyrael versus Thrall and play a mix of characters and spells.
I want them all.
I want them all. But then
yeah.
you get kind of close to Heroes of the Storm, though, so...
Who cares? You know what Heroes of the Storm is really close to? Every Blizzard game ever freaking made.
Yeah, exactly. You know what? I think let's do this. You know, StarCraft, Diablo, let's put them all in there. And then whatever the next game you guys make, put that in there too. Like, just come on, let's just do it.
Yeah, I'm not sure I want a whole damn class, but I don't know.
Yeah, just a fun card. One fun card.
Your games aren't that different. I mean, they're not that far away from one another that the characters and creatures are not going to jibe well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's all, I don't know. To me, it's like there's the Blizzard universe, you know, and
Yeah.
everything is kind of coexisting. Like, I think if it were real, StarCraft would just be another planet, and Azeroth would be that planet, you know, and it might happen one day that we end up crossing paths, and here's where we do it in a card game.
Yeah, no, I think that'd be really cool. I definitely don't want to see like a Diablo Hearthstone and a StarCraft Hearthstone. Like,
Exactly.
I'd rather,
Yeah,
if they're
no,
going to do
I
it,
just
I want
one
to keep
damn
it all
game.
together.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
throw it in there. I'm not like I don't feel like I need a whole expansion from each game, but like just some weird little promo cards here and there that's like, give me a Tyrael card or a Demon Hunter card.
You're really mad that there's no Hearthstone swag in that Diablo expansion, aren't you?
I'm so pissed. I can't even I can't even begin to explain.
It would have been cool.
Yeah. I've got a Baneling pet following me in World of Warcraft. It's named after my favorite Zerg player.
I know, it's a little weird. Yeah.
Why can't I just
There's crossover already. But whatever. We'll see.
Anymore.
grumble,
Maybe
grumble,
eventually
grumble.
it will happen.
Yeah, it's such a minor complaint, but yeah, it's something I'd love to see. And I like that question from Brewbeard.
good.
But this
Oh, yeah,
Diablo
good
board,
question.
by the way, which we haven't even addressed, is actually pretty damn cool looking. Guy did a good little mock-up here. There's a link in the show
yeah.
notes.
Nice.
Oh, I didn't even look at this.
It's the whole point of his email.
Yeah, somebody actually like made up cards too. Like people have done this for a few things. I've seen.
I saw a Dota one the other day.
Dota one,
but every
there's a
card
League
was
of
way
Legends
too good.
one. Yeah, people are getting into like coming up with their own versions of Hearthstone cards.
Yeah,
so.
well, it's been
That's cool.
I've seen that for Magic as well. It's a common thing for fans to do. Yeah, this guy seems like he put a lot of effort into this. It looks
Yeah.
sweet.
Yeah, that's
So
very cool.
I guess this could be, I think, a way they could introduce. They could do themed boards for the other games or something. That way, it's not, you don't have to worry about a card that actually
That's
affects
true.
the game.
Yeah, we could just be playing on like a StarCraft map.
How badass would that be? You get the Diablo Collector's Edition, and you get like the High Heavens board or something. I want a
Sure.
board personally.
That'd be amazing. Yeah,
Yeah,
I would love to see like a Tyrael card. Like that would be because he's so badass.
Yeah.
It'd just be fun. It's just for funsies. Come on, you guys.
Skeleton King, man, or I want a ghost.
Yeah.
I want a freaking ghost.
People are making pirate decks and your milkshake decks. Let's just,
well,
no, that's taking it seriously.
You add some Zerglings in with your Murlocs. Come on, man, just rush.
Unleash the Zerglings. That would be amazing. Just
that
fill
would
your
be like
board
the most
with Zerglings.
aggro
1/1
deck of all
Zerglings.
time.
Just a spell card called Six Pool. It spawns six 1/1 Zerglings with
Yes.
Dude.
Come on, do it, make it happen.
That's
But you can only
OP.
play it on turn 1.
OP.
Dills, you want to take the third and final email for today?
Sure, this is from Troggy, and it says, Science! Question. Hey, Americans and Canadian. I have just recently gotten into the Hearthstone beta. I'm loving it. You guys provide great commentary on all the different aspects of the game. Yeah, we know that.
We're pretty awesome.
Now enough with the butt kissing and on to my question. I have seen stealth creatures get buffed with taunt and then attack. What would happen? That is a good one. What would happen if a stealth creature had taunt and remained stealth? From what I understand about stealth, the creature cannot be targeted by minions or targeted spells, but taunt states that the minion must be targeted before attacking other minions. Thanks for the time, Troggy. In this scenario, the stealth overrides the taunt.
Yep.
So you can attack whatever you want until they unstealth that minion. Once they unstealth it, then it now has actual taunt. Otherwise, that would be ridiculously OP.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone would just, run a stealth minion and give it taunt and be like, hey, you can't attack me anymore.
Do anything, yeah.
So, So basically, until you unstealth a minion, the taunt doesn't matter.
That would be the equivalent of that really lame kid you played with when you were a child who yelled, Force Field!
Yeah, exactly. New rules, you guys. New rules. You can't tag me now. No. Can't make up new rules, buddy. So yeah, it's you play the 7/5 for 7 mana. You give it taunt somehow. It's just a 7/5 or whatever it is, but it does nothing until you unstealth it.
Yeah. I added this because we had like 4 other emails that were asking the same thing. That's why I made sure to include this in today's episode. But
this I really do think. I mean, we need this science segment, and I love people like emailing us about it because there's so many things. Like I watch streams where people have played tons and tons of games, and then they don't know about how something works.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just, there's all these weird little kind of niche situations that you don't get into very often. But when you do, it's like, well, how does that work actually? Like, what's going to happen here? And they don't know, Like, did you know that if Sylvanas dies and kills your harvest golem, that it does not get your damaged golem? Did you know that?
I did. But
Okay.
only because I'm friends with you.
Oh. It also doesn't get your Cairn Bloodhoof or whatever, or your Bane Bloodhoof.
Yeah, because that effect happens before the second creature technically
Basically, Sylvanas tries to steal something. There's nothing on the board, so it goes, oh, well, got nothing. And then the death rattle on your Cairn happens, and Bane pops up.
Yeah,
so.
it's the order of resolution. So, like, the death occurs first, then Sylvanas' thing goes out, then everything resolves, and death rattle creatures appear.
Mm-hmm.
But there are situations like I put a Wild Pyromancer on the board, then I Wrath your Harvest Golem, then after your Death Rattle goes off, then the Pyromancer goes off. So this is why it's like weird. Like, that actually kills the damaged golem, right? So a lot of people don't know like what happens in what order and how this all works. So
yeah, and it's not explicitly stated in the game
it is
either,
not.
which is why it's
you have to kind of it's trial and error. Yeah.
Yeah.
So science segment I think makes a lot of sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
The science must be done.
And that's just going to be it. That's going to be the bumper. It's just gonna be you yelling science.
Yeah. Actually, Ice Worm I think made us one already.
I did see that. I was going to cut out just you yelling science though and use that as the bumper because it's just like that's all we need. That's really all we
true.
need.
But I got some ideas. I got some.
All right. Yeah, we'll most definitely probably add a science segment. I feel like it naturally ends up in the emails as it is.
Yeah, it's coming. They keep coming in. I love it. Keep them coming.
Yeah, keep them coming. TACpodcast@gmail.com. And that'll do it for our first episode of 2014. Hooray!
Ow.
Clap, clap, clap.
Did it!
Yeah. Yeah, just stay tuned. Make sure you follow us on Twitter at TAC Podcast to find out when we'll be broadcasting the Angry Chicken Invitational. I'm looking forward to getting that up and running. As always, thanks to you guys who left us reviews in the iTunes store. We had quite a few over the Christmas break. Thanks to Thrall Babies, who actually left a really funny review, but it's way too long to read. Just thank you for that. You made me smile. Thank you to Flanks. Thank you to Naga Bruce, D1R3, and Rapsodo69 from Canada. Did you really type Canada, Jocelyn?
Yep.
All right.
Oh
I thought
my.
that was just something Americans did to be clever.
Well, I'm just trying to fit in, I noticed that they were like American and Canadian, and I'm like, damn it. I stand out when it's guys and girls. I stand out when it's American and Canadians. I'm just like, maybe if I just sneak this in.
Just slide in. No one will notice.
Yeah.
So then you'll be like, no one notices, eh? And they're like, wait a minute. What's going on?
There's
with
the
you?
Canadianisms.
Yep. Happens.
Is that our only one? Are we not getting enough listeners in Canada? Do we need to campaign a little bit?
We need to campaign a little bit. There's still probably about 5 or 6 that I haven't put into the show yet, so I'm doing one a week so that we don't run out.
Okay.
And there is actually a really, really funny 1-star review in there, and I'm actually going to read that in a couple of weeks. So
Those are my favorites. Love me the 1-star reviews.
I was like, because we've been 5 stars for so long, and then all of a sudden it was like 4.5. What the F?
What? What
And I
happened?
had to go look, and I was like, oh, you're witty. Okay.
It was because of me, I'm sure, right? Like, that
It's always
Dills.
your
I
fault,
can't
Dills.
stand that guy. You know?
On that other show that he does, that one time he talked about the thing. Damn it, stupid Dills.
He said jam was better than jelly. I just can't deal with it. Anyways, as always, The Angry Chicken is a production of A-Move TV and the Frog Pants Studios. You can see more about this and all of the other shows over on amove.tv, like StarCast or The Gamers Inn. Make sure to check out all of the other shows over on frogpants.com as well. Email us, as previously stated, at tacpodcast@gmail.com. We record live every Monday night at 10 p.m. Eastern on twitch.tv/amovetv. If you follow that channel, you won't miss a live show. So go check that out. And thanks to Alpha Geek Radio for providing the mobile stream over at alphageekradio.com. Our Twitter is at TAC Podcast. I can be found at Garrett Art. Dills is at Willie Dills. And Jocelyn is at GIS Gamer. Big thanks to Brian Griffith, the musician responsible for our intro music. Got to hang out with him over Christmas. It was really fun. I had a mad hangover. I'll just say that. So go to briangriffithmusic.com for his work. I've known that guy since I was 3 years old. It's weird.
It's going to keep getting weirder, man.
Yeah.
As you get older. You're still a young guy. You know?
My final.
When you've known people for 30 years, you're like, what? No. No. This can't be real.
Wait, we were friends when Jinko cargo pants were a thing. Oh my god!
You guys remember Cross Colors, dude? Yep. See,
Parachute
I remember.
pants.
You don't.
It's good times.
Yeah, man, it was hammer time back then. You don't even know, Garrett.
Oh, I know. I
was
remember.
totally Hammer time.
There was MC Hammer cartoon and toothpaste for crying out loud
I remember the cartoon.
with his talking
And
shoes
that made it up north of the wall.
north of the wall. So you're the wildlings in Canada. Is that what you're telling me,
But
Jocelyn?
you guys alive when Michael Jackson was the man?
When he
he
was-
was amazing.
when he was still the race he was born as.
Nobody was. Yeah, he was not a joke anymore. Oh, dude, those are good times, man.
Those are good times.
Oh, thriller. Oh, thriller. Last personal pimp, check out nomoonart.com. That's my graphic design portfolio. You can hire me to make pretty things for you. Dills, where can people find you?
People can find me on the Instance, the World of Warcraft podcast, so that you don't have to. You can, but you don't have to.
I want to.
Pretty nice. Yeah, you can, but you don't have to.
Do.
No, I don't really want to
You can
anymore.
also find me on my streaming mostly Hearthstone, but sometimes we're streaming some WoW PvP. By the way, I fully decked out PvP gear now.
I have fallen
And
so far
I got
behind
the
you.
522 weapon, so it's on, dude. I'm doing so much damage. And Torchcast podcast about the Giants, San Francisco Giants. Go 49ers, by the way, and sorry Packers. Sorry, Pyroblast to the face, Packers. And MGA Mediocast, which is about the Mediocre Golf Association. Boom, there you go.
Awesome. And Jocelyn, how about you? Oh, did we lose Jocelyn? Did
no.
we really lose Jocelyn the second I passed to her?
We can find her nowhere. No one can find her anywhere. She's gone completely.
Well, in case she doesn't come back, you can always find Jocelyn on the... Jocelyn, are you back?
Oh, I can hear you.
Oh, sweet.
Can't see anybody, but...
Do your outro.
Oh.
Where can people find you, Jocelyn?
Right here on A Move TV. I do The Gamers In every Friday night at 8:30. You can also check me out on my Twitch stream. I'm just GIS Gamer on Twitch. Or check out Doghouse Network. I do some writing for them sometimes, and they're really ramping up for 2014. So that's just doghouse-network.com.
I'm glad you added it in there because it's a seamless segue into our sponsors, doghousesystems.com, as I lose everybody. Doghousesystems.com are the sponsors of the Angry Chicken. They make amazing gaming rigs, and our code is TAC, and that'll get you double memory on your next Doghouse Systems gaming rig. And there's Mr. Dills. And I think Jocelyn may be back.
Skype so much.
Me too. I lost you both.
By Skype.
If we were sponsored by Skype, it would last a week. It would last 1 week because I would just then be like, and our sponsor, we are also sponsored by Skype. The shittiest requirement in podcasting.
The thing that we all have to use, but sucks. Yeah, terrible.
I don't even know what happened. I was like, Dills just started into his whole spiel and then silence.
Yeah, we all know that you don't like to hear about what I'm doing. It's fine, Jocelyn. It's cool.
I retweet what you're doing all the time, man. You're just quiet.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that'll do it for another episode of The Angry Chicken. Thanks for sticking it out through the disconnect at the end of the show, and we will see you guys next week with episode 14. And as always, and for the first time this year, job's done.
Give me a quest. Oh, wait. Job's done.